You're about to watch me negotiate with a seller on this house, and the thing is, he hates wholesalers. This negotiation got crazy.
For the foundation and the updating.
I'm not like a wholesaler who just spits a random number out at you.
You know, if someone's buying it from me, like I said, I don't care. I don't care what they do with it.
Are you ready? Make sure to subscribe and let me show you the house. All right, so my man Oprah just sent me this house in Fort Worth, Texas that he says he can get for $250,000. So it's for sale by owner. It's listed at $360,000. He says he can get it for $250,000. Is that a good deal? 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2,400 square foot house. It's a beautiful brick house. Please be built in the late 70s. Please be built in the late 70s. Let's go. 1977. That means it has PVC plumbing, not the old cast iron. This is a good house. Neighborhood looks really nice. I'm going to quickly comp the property using Propelio. This is the best comping software for Texas real estate. And if you want to try it, guys, absolutely for free, go to freepropelio.com. Neighbors selling their house, which is a really good comp, and it's pending at 330. And it's sort of outdated inside too. Yeah, this is an outdated house and it's pending at 330. Now that does not mean it's selling at 330 because it's been on the market for 81 days. So they could have got an offer and said yes to 300. We have to call the agent and see. But okay, gives you an idea. This house sold for 385 and it's 500 square feet smaller than ours and it's completely redone. Wow. So that means that our house fixed up could be...
And those countertops are ugly!
Our house fixed up could be worth over 400K. Please don't have a pool. 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 Please don't have... Damn it. A little tough to comp if they have a pool and we don't. Here's a perfect comp that sold for $425 in 15 days. Beautiful, bohemian, farm fresh looking style. I like this house. So our ARV is easily $400,000, if not more. But what's the condition of our house? It's grandma. It's grandma. Very, very grandma. House needs new flooring, new paint. I see cracking. I hope that's not a sign of foundation issues, but likely there's gonna be foundation issues. It will need completely new kitchens and new bathrooms. 2,400 square foot house on the low end, I'd say 60K in repairs. But if the majors are bad, you're gonna have to redo electrical, redo the roof. You could be moving to 70, 80K. But the house looks like it has good bones. So my gut feeling is, let's call it 65. Screw it. Let's call it 70. So if the ARV is, let's say, 415,000, I can sell this neighborhood all day long for 78% of ARV. When you're wholesaling, guys, you can usually sell properties somewhere between 70 to like 80% on average, just depending on the neighborhood, the location. This is a very good area, very desirable house. I'd say 78% all day long. Again, that's usual. Sometimes I've sold houses for 82%, and sometimes in terrible areas and terrible states, I'm having to sell houses at 65. So you just have to learn your market. But this area, I'm pretty confident, 78%. Let's subtract $65,000 in repairs. That means I can sell this house for around 260. So if we can get it for 250, we can easily make 8,700 bucks. Oh, right. You got a good deal. It's not a slam dunk. It's not a home run because if ARV comes back closer to 400 and repairs come back at 70, the deal won't pencil. But I would take a shot confidently at 250. It's such a desirable neighborhood and such a desirable house that I think an investor may slightly overpay to get the opportunity to fix and flip or rent a property like this. These don't come around very often. All right, I'm gonna hope Oprah locks up this contract for 250. Peace. Hi, Bill. My name is Max. I'm reaching out. My partner Oprah was talking to you about your property on Foxfire.
Recently?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, great. No, I'm local here in Dallas, Fort Worth, and was interested in purchasing this property for an investment.
Now, are you the investor? Are you a realtor? Or are you a bird dog?
I am a licensed realtor, but I'm also an investor. So we have a fund in Dallas, Fort Worth. We're based in Las Colinas. We're called RFP Homes, and we're buying brick 3 or 4 bedroom, 2 or 3 bathroom, 70s plus properties. And this just so happens to fit exactly what we need for the fund.
All right. Well, that sounds good. I just want to make sure I'm speaking with legit investors because I hadn't sold a house in a number of years, and I didn't realize the market is so polluted now with all these different layers of people So, because I'll get calls and they're not really investors. They're bird dogs. They're going out and just gathering a little info, passing it on to someone else. I entered contracts twice with a couple of these and had to pull out because I found that all they were doing was a pass through, right?
Gotcha.
So the first one ghosted me 2 days before closing, and that was on a 45-day. I gave him 45 days.
Oh.
And on the 43rd day, he canceled. So obviously, all he was doing was wholesaling.
Yeah.
It didn't go. Yeah. So that's why I asked questions. And on Zillow, I specified, either through a realtor or, it has to be a legit company. So yeah, I'd be interested in talking with you about it. So what do you need to know?
Well, my partner did mention something about foundation, so I just wanted to get that rundown.
Yeah, that whole area. I mean, it's just a clay. It's lousy soil.
It's awful there. I know. I have 2 properties just like this, not far away. That soil stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's horrible soil, and I had the foundation work done when it first, I bought the house in 2006. I think I had the foundation work done in actually about 10 years ago. So somewhere around 14, 15, had the foundation work done. But unfortunately, it settled again with these droughts we had in the last few years. So it's just needing to be redone. I have an estimate. This guy's on the high end because he, what he does is he replaces all the piers with solid steel and all this. That's his thing. And that was 30. So that's the high end. I've been told the same work, I can get it for about 20, 15 to 20 with someone else, but you can not necessarily, can't guarantee the same quality as the 30,000. So really it's the choice of, I haven't done it because I figured, I'll leave that up to whoever's moving in, and just knock off for, So that's why I am flexible and I'm willing to sell it to an investor, but it has to be a real investor where, they actually take it off my hands and then it's yours rather than somebody who, sends me a contract and they're out marketing it. And if it didn't work out, then, because I'm paying for an empty house, utilities, all that,
I get it. And that's why, if we own our contract, I'm happy to come out, see the property, shake your hand. I'm not going to be doing this. A lot of these people are doing this virtually from another country and just passing the contracts along.
Yeah, exactly. It's nasty. I mean, they've got to get a hold on that because it's the homeowners in the end that lose. I mean, you sit on a house waiting for it and it doesn't come through. There's a cost to all that.
Yeah, and I don't need 45 days, so that, we should be able to get this done and finally close it within about 2 weeks. So I just need probably just a couple days just to go out there, make sure, I really just got to get my GCs out there to give them my own foundation bid. 30 grand is a lot. So it's either terrible or, like you said, you're getting a higher end bid.
I could actually forward you a copy.
I would love you to. Yeah, that'd be great.
Of the report I got back with the estimate.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let me just locate that, but I'll just need your email address. Or if you want to send me an email, that way I'll have your contact info. I'll go ahead and lock it in. That way I'll have your contact info. I'll go ahead and lock it in.
Yeah, absolutely. What's your email, sir?
At mac.com.
At, what was that? Mac?
Mac.com.
That's
Mac.
Mac.
M-A-C.
M-A-C.
Yeah,
So
M-A-C.
my name is Max, so I was like, well, I want Max.com. I was like, I need to buy that. That don't make sense there. And then I heard that you're moving out of the area. You're going to Florida?
No, I live in Florida. I used
Florida.
to live there I left there in 88. Then I went back briefly for like 99 through 2002. But I live in Florida. My mother was living in that house. I bought the house for my parents. Because they owned a house in Wedgwood. The neighborhood had changed. Too many people around them were dying off and selling them, and they became rentals. So the nature of the neighborhood changed. So I said, let me get you over to. And I bought the house. But my mother developed dementia, and so she's had to move in with my sister. And so I don't have a need for the house because I don't intend on being a landlord from a distance or anything like that. It was hard enough keeping up with things while my mother was living in the house, and I'm managing everything remotely.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm happy that at least your mom is with your sister and spend time with family.
Yeah. So at least we got that. So now it's just I'm disposing of the house, and I'm going to put my mother in a rental. That way if there are any issues, she can just contact the owner of the home she's that we're leasing for her. But that's the next phase. We'll do that after we get this sold.
That makes a lot of sense. So then, how long have you been having to pay? Because taxes here are brutal. So how long have you been having to pay the taxes and the insurance on the empty house?
Oh, they moved out November. End of November, they moved out. So.
Okay, so almost 6 months. Gotcha. And then that
Yeah.
wholesaler really jerked you around for a month and a half.
He did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, gotcha. No, that is not all my intention. Like I said, I'm also a licensed agent, so I'll send you all my credentials and everything. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this property. What we do is we buy houses pretty much like this that just need a little bit of work, that are usually not ready for Zillow, and we just get in there. Our crews go in. We get it really nice, like HGTV beautiful, and then we just rent it out to a nice family, and that way we don't have to do maintenance to the property for another 5-10 years. We just spend a lot of money up front just to get it nice. I'm looking at it, so just how I'm running my numbers, and I just wanted to be transparent with you. So my partner said, and I guess you can remind me, what number were you looking to get out of this property?
So I went ahead and listed it for what, $259, I think.
Okay.
So I listed it for $259, and then I was figuring on knocking off the 30 plus, in order to make up for the fact that for the foundation and the updating needs to be done or whatever. So I was just trying to get in the low threes is where I was trying to get to. But I am flexible. I realize, with an investor, the advantage is I don't have to do anything else to it. So
yeah, absolutely. So okay, yeah, no, I get where you're coming from. I was running my numbers, and I have a comps, and I'm also happy to share those comps with you. It's tough when you don't have the MLS, which the agents have, because you can't pull up exact numbers. But I'm looking at properties that are fixed up. Here's a property that was fixed up that sold for $420 on 4304 French Lake. And that one sold in about 48 days. It's really nice, but it's 200 square feet bigger, and it has an extra bathroom. More examples like that. So based off of everything, and then there's actually one of your neighbor's houses is pending. I'm coming with the house could be worth, if it was fixed up, $400,000 is my number, and I think that was very fair.
Yeah.
Okay, and I just want to, what I like to do here is just sort of walk you through like where my thought process is as an investor, and just show you, hey, this is what I think the house could be worth. This is what I think I'm gonna have to spend on repairs. This is what it's gonna cost when I sell it, and honestly, I'm just trying to make this much in profit. And I want you to say yeah or no, that doesn't sound right to me, and that's ultimately how I come to my number. I'm not like a wholesaler who just spits a random number out at you. So if I think the house could be worth about $400K, when I go to sell it, I'm usually going to have closing costs twice, because I'm buying it and selling it. I have to pay agent commissions and then buyer concessions. That averages to 10% on a sale. So now if I sold it for $400, I'm at $360. I do have a cost of money. So investors, because we have a fund, our investors, we have to pay them 1% a month, which is very standard for loans. Usually these processes take about 5 months on your average flip. So I budget about 5% for the cost of money, which is very standard right now. Interest rates for the Fed are about 5%. So that knocks me down to about $340 when I sell it. But then this is going to be the real thing, is what about repairs, right? So you're saying foundation bid came in at 30. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say I got better crews who can probably do it for close to 20. That's my goal. I could be wrong. I could get out there and I'd be unpleasantly surprised, but I will happily take that risk. 30 seems like a lot. So that would knock me down to 320. But as far as strictly cosmetic, I usually budget about $30 a square foot. You have a big house. I'm gonna have to redo the kitchen and the bathrooms. How is, just curious before we get into that a little bit more, how is your roof, your HVAC, your electrical? Do you know anything about those?
So the roof is about, I'd say about 8 years old, and the AC is about the same age.
Nice.
Because the roofers, when they were removing the old roof through shingles over the side, a lot of them ended up and locked up the fan blades on the compressor. So when we changed that, went ahead and changed it all out.
Okay.
Just put in a new air handler and everything. So yeah, so those two. And let's see now, as far as the kitchen, there was new granite put in about 5 years ago. The new
Nice.
Countertops and all that, and backsplash for the so the tiles on the wall. So that's been updated. Got a new sink, and all that. What it can use, it has one of those combination oven microwaves on the wall.
Sure.
The oven is in the wall, and so it seems like the panel is having trouble keeping time on the microwave. I checked with Home Depot, and they said that that combination usually costs about $1,500, but it'd be cheaper to just have the tech come out and check out. It's probably a circuit board issue with the microwave, why it's not keeping the time. So that's the other repair that it needs. But that's their recommendation is just have a tech come out, because do the electronic repair on the microwave controls rather than replace all of it.
Okay, sounds good. So that gave me me really good insight. So thank you. So we're gonna have some foundation issues. I think your plumbing is gonna be rock solid because you have PVC, if I'm not mistaken, not cast iron. So that's great news. That saves me. I just replaced the plumbing at my other property just like this. Actually, exact same house, pretty much, and it cost me 20,000.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a good deal. First bid came in at 36. But anyways, so yeah, roof look and HVAC seems, just from what you're telling me, we can let those ride for a few more years. If we get more,
those should, because there was no leakage, nothing like that. What it was a hailstorm, and it cracked a lot of the tiles. Well, these aren't tiles; they're shingles.
Yes.
But it's for some reason. So the insurance company said, just go ahead and replace the roof. So that's what they did. But there was no underlying what do they call it, the underlay and all that. It seemed to be all right.
Yeah. Okay. Well then, yeah. So then, really, I'm looking at the foundation as a major repair item. Maybe I got some electrical work. I'll have to budget a little bit of money in there, but it's just going to be, frankly, just a full cosmetic upgrade of the house, and it's just a big house. So like I said, usually I budget about $30 a square foot, which would come in, if I do my math correctly, around 74. The house looks like it has good bones, and you did say you did some things to it. So even if I drop that to 60 and I drop the foundation down to 20, I'm at 80. So we were at 340. So we had 400. I had 10% when I sell the house in agent costs, closing costs, and buyer concessions. That knocked me to 360. I have the cost of money, which I just have to pay my investors. I know that's not really your problem, but money has a cost of money. That's just business. That cost me 5%. So that knocks me to 340. And then I'm having 80K in total repairs. That knocks me to 260. So that's around my break-even point on a property like this, plus maybe minus a few thousand. That's about my number. I don't need to make a lot because I just want to make my investors some money, and I just want to keep my crews busy. So I would be slightly under that to be able to make a modest profit. So, with all that being said, I can throw you a number. I just want to know if before I do that, do you agree with the math, or does it sound more like magic?
No, it's reasonable. It's reasonable, and that's why it also depends on the investor. Like you're looking at renting or selling, whatever.
Sure.
I think the house has a lot of value as a rental. I'll be honest with you, because the rents there in that area are, I think for that house it was estimated 22 to 24 a month. But the inventory is low on available houses for rent in that area. Just the nature, because that neighborhood's a little bit older, and the nice thing about that neighborhood is the lots are bigger. They left a lot of trees. It's really a nice neighborhood compared to some of the newer ones where the houses are like almost zero lot line, where they're right next to each other. There's no green spaces, no trees, So I don't know. I mean, so it has value in that sense. All that just to say that, if you can make it work, you could go, either rental or resale, and those numbers could work. I think where the pressure is a lot of them just want to do a quick flip, and for that they'll have to discount it too. And so of course there's a pressure, and so I'm in the middle, right? So
I get you, and I think you absolutely nailed your numbers with the rental, and also like it could be a great rental. If it rents for around that, what would I get on returns? I'm just gonna think it through, because eventually I'm gonna rent it out. What did you say? You said it was about 2 to 2,300. Is what
about 22 to 24.
Okay, let's say it's 24, because I think if we make the house nice, for sure 24. I have insurance gonna be probably about $300 a month. Taxes there are pretty awful. So
they are awful.
And then I don't get the homestead exemptions, unfortunately. So that's probably gonna knock me down to closer now we're down to about $1,500 a month in gross profit, and then I also gonna have property management, maintenance, and all that. So if I walk away with a little bit over, let's say $1,200 a month in cash flow, let's check that out. $1,200 a month in cash flow, 12, that'll give me about 14K. Let's quickly look at this house purchase. Yeah, it gives me about 5 to 6% returns depending on where we can come in on the property purchase, which is standard, right? It sounds about right to me. You're getting, this is not a bad area, so you don't need 10% plus returns, but it's that seems about standard, about right. 5 to 6% returns we usually shoot for a little bit higher, but I really like this neighborhood in this house, so I'm okay to get a little bit under 6% returns. So yeah, so I mean, with all that being said, I mean, I'll just give you my number, then we can talk terms if you want to meet me, move forward or not. Like I said, I don't need to make a lot in profit, but to get my 6% returns and to just be able to make enough money on the flip without things going wrong, I'm gonna be about $240,000 cash.
Okay, so I shouldn't have said about.
Practice makes better.
I had somebody and I accepted his offer of 260, but the problem is I pulled it because his partner got ahead of himself. His partner is doing what is it, pass through or whatever.
Yep.
I have a contact in the real estate business in Dallas, and he buys investment houses, and he got the blast, and it was there. We hadn't even really signed. We hadn't even signed the agreement before they had already developed a publicity piece for this, and they
gotcha.
They blasted it out saying it's a 358 ARV and they're willing to sell it for 275. They were buying it from me for 260. But the problem, and if it was a solid deal, that would be fine. The problem with me was the timing, right? Because the thing is, if you get ahead where we haven't even concluded the sale.
Yeah.
And you're already selling it, that means that if you don't sell it, you're gonna pull out on me. So, I don't really have a deal until closing day. And that's I just didn't want to go through that again. Just about everything is okay if you disclose it up front. If somebody says to me, look, basically it's like putting the house on consignment.
Sure.
Hey, I'm gonna do this. That's a marketing agreement to me. Basically the house is on consignment. But if they mislead me and say I'm buying it from you and I'm counting on that sale, but it's not a solid sale because it is contingent on whether they're able to find the buyer, then I might as well sit on it myself. If I'm going to wait, 2 months to find out that, hey, they didn't get a buyer, I might as well wait myself. And I'll, if I get the buyer, then I cut out the
you cut out the middleman, and that's why. So what are you looking for on my side? Because I can give you some solutions here, but what are you looking for to see if I can meet your needs?
Well, I'll tell you what. Okay, let's say this. I accepted the 260 from him. I would accept that from you. The difference is with him, I don't know what's going to happen because he's doing a pass through.
Sure.
And it could happen. So the discount that I'm offering, I'm not getting anything for it because I'm still sitting here waiting to see if they sell it. Versus me sitting here waiting to see if it sells. So I would take the 260.
Is he under contract? Fuck, he's under contract.
However you want. And then you can sell it. You can do whatever. It's none of my business at that point. But our transaction is done. That's all I wanted from this guy. Our transaction is done before you go out and sell it. Because that way, for the discount, I'm getting the security of I'm selling versus I'm waiting for a buyer. So that's all. So if we can arrive at a number and you say, okay, yeah, I'm well funded, regardless of whether I get a buyer between now and closing, I'm still buying it from you because I know what I'm going to do with it, and I'm good.
Okay. Let me just try to unpack this. Are you currently under contract with let's just call him a middleman or somebody? Like, are you currently under contract?
No, I pulled it. I sent him in writing, and he confirmed it.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
sounds
I pulled
good.
it because I was still within the 72 hours.
So are you? So I just want to make sure I'm understanding you correctly. Are you saying that if I pay 360, you're like, oh, go ahead and do whatever you want with it? But you're saying if I pay 340, it just needs to be me close on it quickly, or did I misunderstand you there?
No, I said okay. So how much? I thought you said 260.
Sorry. Sorry, I was looking at we're at twos. Excuse me. I looked at the listing price. Excuse me. I remember you said you have it at 360. So yes, I was at. You said 260. I said that's probably going to be my break-even point is 260, and I obviously cannot come and buy a house to flip it or go and rent it and not get a return I need or lose money on a property, right? Yeah. So I said 260 was my break-even. I don't need to make a fortune. I'm not here to make a big amount on you, but I said my number was 240.
Okay. Oh no, that's fine. But see, I already have a 240, so I get, that offered me last week. They came out and said, okay, so no, that's fine. I mean, whatever we agree to. My point was, it doesn't matter the amount. My point is, if someone's buying it from me, like I said, I don't care. I don't care what they do with it once they've bought it from me. Once we go through closing.
Double close this one, bro. I think I may be the end buyer. Double close this one, bro.
They're basically getting me into the deal by saying I'm buying it from you.
Sure.
But all they're doing is marketing it, right? So
no, I get
you.
I understand.
Have a deal until their customer commits to them. Then if they don't get anybody to commit to them, then I know that they're going to pull out before because they don't have the source of funding if they don't have a customer. That's where the issue is. So in other words, if I'm assuming the risk right now because I'm holding the asset, I'm paying the taxes. I'm paying the utilities.
I understand.
Insurance, et cetera, et cetera. I'm assuming the risk. What they're doing is they're basically coming in and saying, I'm going to buy it from you. That gives me the right to market it, et cetera. So they're marketing an asset that they don't own. They don't assume any of the risk until closing, so it's a bad deal for me because I've discounted it. If I'm going to keep the risk, then I'll just retail it. I'll just get a regular realtor, put it on there. I'll pay the 6%, and I'll still make more money. I'll have to pay the repairs. That's fine, but I'll still make more money. What I'm trying to get out of it is, sitting there.
I'm currently texting our fund manager trying to see if we can get a number. I get you. So on my side, like I said, I do need a few days just to get my contractors, but then also my foundation specialist out there, because if those foundation numbers are actually 30, which I don't think they're going to be on my side, but if they actually are, I don't see how this is going to be profitable for me. But I have a gut feeling that I can get this done for closer to 20. So what I'm looking for is just a few days where I get a time where I can go in, check out the property, and if all's good, then we're moving forward. And then you can keep my earnest money deposit and we can talk about that. But then if not, I'm not going to hold you for 45 days. I just need a few days, and then the contract expires. And then if I can't move forward with the purchase, then you can just go ahead and cancel and list with the realtor. And I can refer you to a good one if you need one.
All right. Well, okay. So let's take a look here.
Okay.
So you're needing 1 day for inspection, right? Because you're going to have your...
I would like to have at least 3 days, because I need multiple. I don't want to, I'm going to have to coordinate with at least 2 different parties, one GC and one foundation guy, and they could be on other projects or they could be at our other houses. And I don't want to cut my time frame too short.
Okay. How about we play it by ear? Because we don't have a contract. We don't have anything. So at this point, just play it by ear. Just call me. If I can get somebody to let you in and all that, we'll set it up.
Is it on lockbox, or how's the access?
I have a couple people in the area with a key.
Okay, understood. Well, I mean, so I guess I know I can understand that you're apprehensive about getting into another contract because the last person did you so dirty. But on my side, I can't be sending my crews out there without having a valid contract, because it's against our fund policy, and it could just come back to waste our time.
I've had somebody try to call me twice since we've been on the phone. How about if we have a conversation later? I'm afraid I have several things. I have this going on this afternoon. Do you mind? Maybe we can touch base this evening or something?
Yeah, I just want to make sure we get this done. So what if I'm happy to put a few $1,000s down too. I'm not here to waste anyone's time. So if I was able to send you over an agreement tonight that just said, hey, Max is going to have 3 days to look at the house, and then if not, there's a few $1,000 deposit that if we move forward past those 3 days, you'll receive that few $1,000 deposit. I'll have it wired into escrow tomorrow, and then we're just good to go. Like I said, I mean, our fund is buying about 100 houses this year. We bought 2 last week. We've already bought 1 this week. So I'm just looking to see if we can just make this easy. If it's not easy, well, in 3 days, you can go ahead and list with the next guy, or go ahead and sell, or whatever you need.
And I appreciate it. It's just that I'm afraid I have somebody trying to reach me right now. So just as a courtesy, if you would just let me either call you back later or you call me back later.
Sure, as a courtesy. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. So I will talk to you later.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye. Fuck. RJ, how did I do, buddy? How did I'm sure I could have done better. So give me some tips here. There you have it, y'all. I hope you appreciate this video. If you want to learn how to wholesale, make sure to join my free Discord community, The Wholesalers. The link is in the description down below. I love y'all so much. It's midnight. I'm tired. I'm gonna go play some video games. All right, see y'all later.